Mayor Eric Adams of New York, a sanctuary city, by the way.
Yeah.
Sanctuary city, meaning you are going to be a safe haven for illegal migrants in the United States. And his progressive credentials were put to the test when Greg Abbott in Texas was like, okay, great. Here's your migrants. We're putting them on a bus and sending them to you. Since you are one of the reasons which inspires them to walk across the border into Texas and engage human traffickers to get there. And so he did that. And then Eric Adams has a response to that, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's just show this clip. So remember, progressive running a sanctuary city. This is what he has to say.
The city is being destroyed by the migrant crisis, and none of my folks came to Washington, D.C. to fight for the resources that's going to undermine every agency in our city.
And the solution is buy them a bus ticket for Roxham Road.
Right. So he's like, they're destroying our city. You know what we got to do? Send them to Montreal. Like, so they can destroy Montreal next. You know what you should be doing, Eric Adams? You're a Democrat. Get on the horn to Biden and say, we have to close that southern border because that's how they're getting to New York. So deal with the southern border, which will save New York, which will save Montreal. But no, he just says, okay, well, you know what? You're destroying my city. Here's some bus tickets. Go to Montreal. And then Montreal can't handle them. So then they end up in Niagara Falls and they end up in Cornwall and a dozen other cities along the way who didn't ask to be the solution to New York's problems.
Migrant musical chairs, isn't it, Sheila? It's just a hot potato that they download to the next available municipality, or in Mayor Adams' case, the next nation. It is despicable. And really, when he's speaking of migrants that way, that doesn't sound very inclusive. That doesn't sound very diverse. That doesn't sound like he's embracing equity. What happened? I guess when it comes to your doorstep, you get a come to Jesus moment that, wow, we can't afford this. And let's just shuffle them off to Buffalo and beyond.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's getting mugged by reality right now. But at the same time, okay, if that's happening to New York City, what in the hell do you think it's doing to Eagle Pass, Texas? Little tiny Eagle Pass, Texas is getting overrun. It's an ecological disaster there at the Rio Grande at this point. If you're an environmentalist and you care about those sorts of things, I care about real, actual garbage. So I actually care about this stuff.
Unbelievable.
And people are being trafficked. Young girls are being given the morning after pill in their pockets and put on birth control, like at 11, 12 years old, as they're trafficked across the border. I think when we had a reporter on the border there, I mean, just the pill packages everywhere and the clothes and garbage strewn as, you know, the migrants come out of the water at the Rio Grande and Eagle Pass. It's just nothing but like garbage and pill packages and medications. And, you know, like that's a human catastrophe. You know how you stop this? You close the southern border and it doesn't become an option for anybody anymore, so that you aren't having people put themselves in these situations and you're not lining the pockets of cartels and coyotes. But Eric Adams is just like, I don't want him here. I let him come, but I don't want him here.
And I remember as a reporter was chronicling all that you just listed, Sheila, a migrant said, excuse me, you don't have permission to film me. Here's an illegal alien in America saying to our reporter, could you please extinguish your First Amendment rights? You couldn't write this. It's the stuff of parody, Sheila.
Right. Juan Mendoza Diaz, he was our reporter at the border, and he came across like a toddler, like a preschool age child, with a WhatsApp phone number written on his arm. That's how anybody would ever know who his parents were or who he belonged to. And he was coming across the border with just somebody. And that's what he found in these migrant centers. So, you know, if you don't want little children trafficked across the border, you know what you should do? closed that border. So they quit trafficking little kids across it. But Eric Adams, he's just a NIMBY, one of those not in my backyard people. Sure, bring him in, but let's send him to Dallas and Houston and I don't know, Florida. Like that's where he would rather have them live. But these are progressive policies.
Yep.
Let's make the progressives live with it.
Unbelievable.
That's a clip from something we call Rebel News Daily. It's our daily live stream hosted by my friend David Menzies, but the show also includes a rotating cast of hosts and special guests, including me. It's a great way for us to talk about the news of the day as the news is happening in an unscripted fashion, and it's an awesome way for you to interact with us as well. We stream every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, wherever you find Rebel News. See you there.